Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for joining us tonight. Topping our news, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office investigating a homicide at this hour.
A body of a man found in a car in the parking lot of a business on US 41 in South Manatee County. That's where we find ABC 7's Rick Adams. He is joining us live with more on this developing story tonight. Rick.
Yeah, Haley and Scott, details continue to emerge. I'm going to step out of the way to give you a better look at the scene. There were shots fired here around 1:40 this afternoon. When deputies arrived, they discovered a dead Hispanic man in a car. The car was in the parking lot of a limo business. A man was arrested a short time later nearby.
We know that the person who shot the person, they knew one another. We assume they did, and we're being told they did. And there was some sort of a disagreement and then the shooting. And again, we're just trying to find out exactly what happened.
And it is a business near the airport here on Tamiami Trail. And as soon as we get more information on this, we'll certainly pass it along to you. Reporting live from Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
Thank you, Rick. Also new at 5, Sarasota police are hoping the surveillance video of an armed robbery can lead them to the suspects.
The robbery taking place at a Walgreens store on North Tamiami Trail in Sarasota last night around 11 o'clock. In the video, the two suspects are seen entering the store wearing masks and all black clothing. Both are armed with handguns. They got cash from the employee and then ran off. If you have any information on the robbery, call Sarasota County Crime Stoppers at 366-TIPS.
A Sarasota parent is facing multiple felony charges after police say she stole thousands of dollars from a parent-teacher organization at Southside Elementary School. Tiffany Donovan was arrested and charged on Wednesday for writing forged checks and a scheme to defraud charge. A Sarasota police investigation revealed Donovan deposited more than $7,000 into PTO checks into a personal account between July and December of last year. The incoming PTO president says she was surprised Donovan, a parent at the school and an employee with Sarasota Magazine, could be capable of these alleged crimes.
It was shocking and very sad. We'd hoped the outcome would be different and that there was just a bookkeeping error.
Children, the elderly, I deal with it all day, every day, and it's a sad state of affairs.
The Southside PTO says that they will be recovering all of the missing funds to go back to various school improvements. The Sarasota School District has removed Donovan from their volunteer list pending the outcome of this investigation.
Developing tonight in Manatee County, new complaints have been filed by a handful of Lakewood Ranch residents as the Braden River continues to erode their backyards.
Erosion has been an issue in the Summerfield Bluffs neighborhood for years. The backyards of these homes of River Bluffs Circle are sinking the closer they get to the Braden River. The staff at Lakewood Ranch says that they are taking a look at what they can do to help. Annie Ross says the staff plans to reach out to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the Florida Fish and Wildlife, and SwiftMud to see what can be done and how much it would cost. Ross says the fix could end up costing the homeowners since the project would only benefit a few residents.
Well, the board does want the residents to know that they're looking into this, that they are concerned, and depending on what they're allowed through the special purpose government jurisdictions they have, they'll try and help as they can.
At least half a dozen homes are affected. Ross says it's unclear how much these repairs would cost as the property still needs to be surveyed and reviewed by engineers.
Cleanup continues in Manatee County after Tropical Storm Emily. This is video shot today by our chief meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Crews were out again today picking up what Emily left behind. Tree limbs, other debris still being collected daily by Manatee County Solid Waste. County officials say if you still haven't put your debris out to get picked up, do so for next Wednesday when there will be a yard waste collection day. No more special collections are scheduled for now. But as you can see, Bob also has some tips, I'm told, on how to put that waste out there. You just can't put it in big piles, right, Bob?
Yeah, some of that was left behind as a result of it not being out there properly for the folks to pick it up and put it into the trash truck there. You have to have like 3 to 4 foot bundles, and they have to be wound up or wrapped up or in barrels. If they're just kind of lying around, they can't pick those up and just throw them all in. They're just too much. So I guess they're asking folks to help out with that a little bit. 106 degrees. It's hard to be working out there now picking up yard waste as a result of Emily, but it's that's what it feels like. It was 101 just about a half hour ago. Now it feels like 106 degrees out there. In place, 107 in Arcadia, 103 in Northport. Now Sarasota down to 99. That's in downtown Sarasota. And that's a result of some cloud cover in advance of some rainfall. So we have some cooling showers around. Some rain now moving into Anna Maria Island, also along I-275. A shower and a thunderstorm now approaching on in toward Lido and Siesta Key. So this one bringing some moderate to heavy rainfall out there in the Gulf of Mexico right now, causing some troubles for mariners. Some light rainfall at the northern tip of Anna Maria. A heavier storm here. This has a chance of hanging on and making it on into shore here in the next half hour or so. It's already approaching the southern end of Longboat Key. Well, more in the forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. As the start of the new school year approaches, districts are still unclear on how to handle medical marijuana on school grounds.
The confusion comes because of conflicting sections of Florida state law as well as federal law. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick is live in Manatee County to explain how medical marijuana could be handled to start the school year here on the Suncoast. Jess?
Good evening, Haley and Scott. Here at Manatee County School District, they plan to handle it case by case. Administrators will look at each situation and evaluate how necessary medical marijuana is for that student. At least that's how it'll be handled until state law and or school policy is changed. Brandon Petro suffers from one of the most deadly forms of epilepsy out there. His first seizure at 8 years old put him in the hospital for 4 months. Years later, Brandon's life changed drastically for a second time.
Brandon became a medical cannabis patient 2014, and that was the first time that Brandon went seizure-free on cannabis for 45 days.
Brandon's mother, Renee, says because of medical marijuana, Brandon now only takes 2 pharmaceuticals a day.
This is no different than any other medicine.
Because Brandon's epilepsy is so severe, Renee says he could die if she's not careful. So she's taken him out of school. But Renee continues to fight for the students who are still in school and need medical marijuana.
No child or adolescent should be left behind because they cannot utilize this in the school setting.
The problem is Florida state law contradicts itself. At one point, it says that for minors, the caregiver or the one who administers the medical marijuana is a parent or legal guardian. At another point, it expands the caregiver to including district personnel, leaving districts unclear on what the legal procedure is.
From a legal perspective, it's difficult to designate school personnel as a caregiver when the legislature clearly exempted them from being a caregiver.
The other problem is school policies and federal laws say that school zones are to be drug-free zones. So what do you do when the state and federal laws are conflicting?
When federal law conflicts with state law, federal law controls under the Supremacy Clause.
So it's safe to say that nothing will be changing between now and when school starts. However, it is possible that state lawmakers will look at this legislation and make some changes during their next legislative session. When it comes to school policy, again, that's up to the district. Reporting live in Manatee County, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Jess. ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern is joining us now to tell us that we have another record for the Dow Jones Industrial Average.
Haley, that's absolutely right. If you believe in technicalities, frankly, 2 of the 3 indices we follow every day were lower, and the Dow was higher, but barely. Nonetheless, we've been up now. The Dow has been up for 8 consecutive days, 7 consecutive records. We did cross 22,000 for the first time yesterday. We're above that number, of course, again today. And keep in mind, the volume is very low. It is summer. And the top to bottom range for the Dow was only 53 points, barely worth coming to work. Let's take a look and see the numbers. There's the record, be it ever so humble, a gain of less than 10 points, 0.04%, 22,026.10 on volume of 688 million shares. The NASDAQ, not so much, down 22.5 points, more than 1/3%, closing at 6,340.34. That on volume of 1,801,000,000 shares. And the S&P, well, down 0.2%, not quite 5.5 points at 2,472.16. Well, quiet it was, but it wasn't quiet for Tesla. Shares of Tesla were up by 6.5% despite this very quiet day. And the reason for it is Their revenues came in better than expected, and they're expecting to ship out their brand new models faster than anybody would have thought. They hope to be shipping out the new Model 3 at the rate of 5,000 a week by the end of this year and 10,000 a week by the end of next year. Well, that sounds great, except for the fact that 455,000 people are already on the waiting list, and another 1,800 per week in the last 2 weeks have been added as well. At that rate, if you put your name on the list today, if they can produce them as fast as they claim, you're going to get your new car in just over 1 year. So that's a pretty popular item, one would have to say.
Better be patient, too.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you also have some late news on Kraft Heinz today.
Yes, I wish it were better news on Kraft Heinz, because everybody knows they do make some foods that are healthy, but they also make mac and cheese, and right now that's not very much in favor. As a result of that, the numbers came in lower than expected. We'll see the reaction tomorrow, but not a big deal, but down nonetheless.
All right, Richard, thank you so much for the update.
You're very welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, a presidential promise to get easier veteran health care could soon be at their fingertips as a new website launches today, offering a better way to manage medical needs.
ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast. And the hunt is on as the state urging anglers to continue fishing for an invasive species in Florida waters before the season ends.
The ABC 7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203. 800-759-0203.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
President Trump's approval ratings may be down, but that is not stopping him from trying to make it easier for veterans to get medical care.
President announcing a new website for vets with his VA secretary this afternoon. The site would allow veterans to compare wait times and then quality care at VA facilities and other hospitals. It will also assist them in mental health care services and suicide prevention, as well as allow them to use mobile devices to make and manage VA doctor appointments.
We're expanding the ability of veterans to connect with their VA healthcare team from anywhere using mobile application on the veteran's own phone or the veteran's own computer.
This doctor's bag.
VA Secretary David Shulkin says the new programs are in addition to existing programs that provided care to more than 700,000 veterans last year.
Speaking of vets, new VA clinics are in Florida's future. Lawmakers giving the green light for 7 new medical facilities for veterans. They'll be located in Daytona Beach, Jacksonville, Ocala, Lakeland, and 2 in Gainesville. The closest one to us will be in Tampa. 8 new medical clinics were approved overall. Some are replacements for clinics already operating. Others are new. The new additions are part of a veterans health care bill approved by the House last week. It's now heading to the president's desk to be signed into law.
Follow up now on lionfish hunting here in Florida. Anglers now have 1 more month to catch as many lionfish as they can in order to win prizes during the Lionfish Challenge. The exotic fish was first spotted in Florida waters about 30 years ago and has since now grown out of control. The goal of this tournament is to remove as many of these invasive fish as possible. Florida Fish and Wildlife officials say the fish are edible and there's no limit to how many you can catch.
This is a species that, has been the most successful non-native invasive species in our marine environment. In terms of the numbers just continue to grow, there's nothing that's really seeming to keep the population in check.
So far, more than 5,000 lionfish have been eliminated. The challenge will end on Labor Day. So get
it in before then. Yep.
Not many predators, they just keep growing there. That's right. The lions are king of the jungle, and the lionfish are king of the Gulf of Mexico, it looks like right there. We have some showers heading in. We were looking at some dry air, but that's really going to be in place tomorrow. Some showers and storms starting to approach the coast, and looks like some cooling showers at that. We need the rainfall. Get a look at the Casey Key webcam. Beautiful, sunny, hot day today. Even on the beaches with temperatures nearing 90 degrees, high humidity. You can see a lot of sunshine, and then all of a sudden, clouds increasing as a little system moving in from the Gulf. Again, the models really didn't handle that all that well, but get a look at the live shot now from the daiquiri deck on the south end of Longboat Key. This is a live look now from Siesta Key, showing that line of showers getting very close to Siesta. Well, a Titan radar picture shows most of the activity well to the north. That's associated with that frontal system, which I don't think I've ever talked about a front this far south. Of all the 31 years I've done weather in the northern Gulf of Mexico at this time. But it's there. It's slowly moving northward, but out ahead of it, we have a little disturbance coming up and moving on into the coast now. And you can see that rainfall approaching Siesta Key, and looks like it will continue to move off to the northeast. Some light rain now near Anna Maria Island and out in the Gulf of Mexico. Not a lot of activity. One lone storm near Mayaca City. I do expect that with all the heat around and with this moving inland areas could start to see a little bit more action here over the upcoming hours. We'll see if that plays out, but that's my understanding. So hot out there with so much humidity in the atmosphere, I would suspect that we'll see a few of these storms start to pop up, especially inland. This one, there's Siesta Key right there, is heading that direction. It's not really intensifying. It is weakening, actually, as it makes its way on, but I think it has enough energy to bring some moderate to heavy rainfall for a brief period of time anyway on Siesta Key. And as far as the water vapor imagery goes, you see this is the dry air on the scale right here. There's been a lot of it in the Atlantic as of late, but that's starting to fade away from the coast of Africa. We get these dust storms that bring a lot of dust in the atmosphere and dries it out. Well, this on top of the fact that we have high pressure here is slowly inching into South Florida and the Keys now. It'll be in place tomorrow and should push all this moisture to the north, which will lessen our rain chances considerably on Friday. For this time of year, typically it's around 50%. 86 degrees right now. Dew point is at 73, so the clouds have helped. They brought the heat index down and the pressure down 30.09 inches. Winds are out of the west at 14, and that's in advance of that storm system, too. 93 in Orlando, though, 91 in Miami. The forecast tomorrow looks good. Music on Main tomorrow, and it should not be a problem. Still, though, very hot. The heat will be a problem. The umbrellas will be used to keep the sun out as a result of the high sun angle there, and looks like showers and clouds mainly to the north of us tomorrow, although we'll start to move through on Friday. Looks sunny, looks hot, and then eventually on Saturday, a little bit more moisture comes back into play as that dry air gets squeezed out of here, and we'll see a little bit better chance for showers and storms developing, mainly in the afternoon and evening. Now, we will see, it looks like with that front still hanging to the north, a chance for even a few coastal showers as well on Saturday, but most of the activity will be in the afternoon and evening. Look at that cold air. Cold, I say, 57 degrees in Minneapolis right now. It's 88 in the nation's capital, 100 into Reno. For boaters, winds out of the southeast, turning to the southwest at 10 knots and a light chop out there. A tide's upcoming. Next one, a high tide at 12:50. The forecast tonight, scattered showers, a few thunderstorms, otherwise partly cloudy outside of that area, and then hot and humid tomorrow. Look at that rain chance, only at 10%. The extended forecast is calling for a little bit better chance for some showers on Saturday, not much on Sunday, but better chances as we start the work week next week. Back to you.
Okay, Bob, thank you. In Suncoast Traffic Watch, we're seeing some congestion in Manatee County at this hour. You see US 41 backed up as well as US 301 in areas. State Road 70 is a little slow heading into Lakewood Ranch. And then I-75, slow going both north and southbound between State Road 70 and State Road 64. Further south into Sarasota, traffic on I-75 is slow going as you head south, which is a little different. It's typically heading north, but that's the case at this point. No crashes being reported in the area right now. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, we hear more and more about how much our microbiome affects our health. That's the 100 trillion microbes of fungi, bacteria, and viruses that reside in your gut, primarily in the large intestine. Researchers at the Center for Microbiome Innovation at the University of California, San Diego, are trying to map and understand this crucial component of our health through the American Gut Project. Although the project is wider than that, it includes 10,000 samples from more than 43 countries. The goal is to identify what all of the bacteria do and how they impact our health. A new study is shedding some light on a mysterious illness. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimate chronic fatigue syndrome affects more than 836,000 Americans. A study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences found people with chronic fatigue syndrome had substantially higher levels of certain cytokines. Those are substances from the immune system. Researchers found that the higher the level of certain pro-inflammatory cytokines, the more severe the symptoms of chronic fatigue syndrome. Researchers suggest there is a link between excess inflammation and the disease. The first known attempt at creating genetically modified human embryos in the United States. Using a gene editing technique called CRISPR, scientists say they corrected a gene mutation linked to inherited heart conditions in human embryos. A study demonstrating the technique was published in the journal Nature. A co-author of the study described it as the first in the world to demonstrate gene editing to be safe, accurate, and efficient. Although there are some moral concerns, this could, in the distant future, help couples with genetically inherited diseases have babies without the risk of passing those diseases on. Coming up, a hair-raising experience for patrons on a bungee ride after it malfunctions, leaving some hanging upside down. Plus, an object that has Coast Guard crews fishing for answers, where this mermaid is making an appearance. That story is coming up next.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Attention blood thinner users. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If your loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill, I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
From a baby's first steps to walking your daughter down the aisle,
So many of life's precious moments are spent on our feet, and every step you take contributes to a healthier heart. By walking briskly for just 30 minutes a day, you can lower your risk for heart disease and stroke. So join us and take the first step to a healthier, longer life. The American Heart Association. Life. Life is why.
Students on the Suncoast are heading back to school, and we want to make sure local kids have the supplies they need to succeed. If you'd like to donate, or if you're a family in need, join us here at the Boys and Girls Club of Sarasota this Saturday at 10 o'clock for the Back to School Backpack Brigade. ABC7 is teaming up with the Tiny Hands Foundation to fill hundreds of backpacks with supplies for local children in need. For more information on how you can help, go to tinyhandsfoundation.org/backpack-brigade.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
An update tonight on a fatal gas explosion at a school in Minneapolis.
Authorities say the detonation was triggered when workers pierced a gas line. The blast happened around 10 o'clock yesterday morning. No students were hurt, but 9 adults, including some gas line workers, were injured. The body of a beloved janitor was discovered amid the debris. The school's receptionist was also killed.
It's terrible. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it.
At least one of the victims in the hospital remains in critical condition. The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating.
A massive fire destroys a speedboat in Los Angeles this morning. Firefighters are working to figure out what caused that fire. But they say by the time they arrived, this 20-foot boat was fully engulfed in flames. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
Also in California, some frightening moments at a county fair where 3 people were stranded on a bungee ride. The malfunction happened last night. Carnival goers were recording the scene from the ground. One person was hanging in the air for nearly 40 minutes. 2 others were stuck in a steel cage hanging from a crane on that ride for more than an hour. Firefighters had to use a ladder truck and a rappel system to safely lower them down. All of the riders do appear to be okay.
A mermaid is spotted in the Gulf of Mexico. Sort of. A floating dock with a mermaid painted on it was found yesterday in the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of southern Louisiana. Now, the Coast Guard says it likely drifted about 200 miles from Key West during Tropical Storm Emily. The dock had broken free from its mooring. No one was on board, fortunately. The small house is built atop a buoyant dock and painted green with purple trim, surrounded by fencing and a mermaid.
Well, that's
a
very
strange
random.
find, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a very strange find. Still to come on your Suncoast News, an overdose incident that leads to murder charges.
And a man looking for love in all the wrong places is banned from a Florida beach after parents complain about his tactics in finding a perfect match. Stay with us.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Attention! Royal Seas Cruises has just announced their deal of the day, a $99 Caribbean cruise for 2 people. This amazing cruise deal to the Bahamas is only available to the first 500 callers who register in your area today. So get ready to write down this number and act fast. We know that the best type of traveler is a repeat guest, so we're offering this $99 Caribbean cruise to prove it. That's $99 per couple, including your stateroom, all your delicious meals, full spa, live entertainment, 3 kids clubs, and more. Come see why we were voted one of the top 10 best overall cruises by Cruise Critic. We're so sure you'll enjoy yourself and become a repeat customer that you're getting this deal of the day for the unbelievable low price of just $99 per couple. But you've got to act fast. Pick up the phone and be one of the first 500 callers to take the Caribbean cruise of a lifetime for just $99 per couple. Call right now or log on to royalcruisenow.com.
Call 800-906-0489.
If you want 24/7 access to ABC7's breaking news stories, weather forecasts, traffic alerts, health reports, Suncoast View, and more ABC7 programming, now there's good news. Introducing the free ABC7 channel on Amazon Fire TV. Your 24/7 access to ABC7. Just search ABC7 on the streaming device and download the free ABC7 channel app. Or if you don't have an Amazon Fire TV, you can get one at Amazon.com.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.